The Invincible wore through 18 different versions of Mark Addis. Some were absolute powerhouses, some straight up embarrassments, and a few that were basically background props. So today, I'm breaking down every single Invincible variant, ranking them from worst to best based on how much destruction they caused and how tough they actually were. Let's get into it. First up, we have Sportvincible. This guy's an Invincible who just completely lost it. He didn't care about people or anything. He just went around smashing the city like it was a toy. During the Invincible War, he came through with the other variants, but honestly, he barely did anything at all. On day 2, he dies off screen, so the only thing we see is his broken body lying in a big hole in the ground. It's safe to say crows were having a feast on his body. Next is Light Blue Invincible. Like Sportsvincible, we don't know much about him, but he also turned evil like almost all the other variants. During the war, he's the first one to crash through Angstrom's portal. He immediately starts destroying buildings and attacking civilians, but he ends up just like Sportsvincible, killed off screen. Later, the GDA turns his broken body into a reanimate, confirming his death. Bulletproof Invincible is next. All we know is that this variant becomes a supervillain in his own reality. During the Invincible War, he comes through the portal ready to smash everything. He heads straight for the Global Defense Agency base, which seems like a big move at first, but it turns out to be a huge mistake. He gets attacked by a bunch of reanimate, and that's it. His neck gets snapped, and he's out. Eventually, Bulletproof Invincible is recovered by the GDA and converted into a reanimate by D.A. Sinclair. Flaxansible is another one of Mark's variants. We don't know his full backstory, but it's likely that this variant was a part of a ruling or aligned with the Flaxan Empire, which lets him get his hands on some Flaxan armor that gives him a little extra protection, but not enough to dominate the battlefield. When the Invincible War starts, he goes around destroying things like the other variants. He attacks the GDA, but the reanimate and noisemakers, special sonic devices made to fight Viltrumites, are ready. Flaxansible manages to take down a few reanimate, showing some real strength, but eventually he's beaten to death until Cecil orders the attack to stop. Flaxansible was the first variant to be killed off in the war, and this fight makes the GDA realize that Flaxansible isn't nearly as strong as the main universe's Mark, giving them some hope. Later, Flaxansible is also converted into a reanimate. Capvincible comes in at number 14. We don't know much about his backstory, but in the war, he fights Kid Omni-Man, aka Oliver. At first, he nearly kills Oliver, showing he has real strength, but then Throwbolt and Bug-Eye show up. After that, we don't see exactly what happens to Capvincible, but we do know Oliver survives. We do see a burned body of a variant that Powerplex is standing over, and most fans assume that it's Capvincible. No Maskable is the variant who is all up in his feelings. From what we know, he has romantic feelings for William. Cute. But remember, he's still a dangerous villain. In the war, No Maskable flies into the main universe like he owns it, smashing stuff up. His first fight is against the Hunk, and he crushes him like a bug under a boot. Then he turns Paris into an even bigger mess than it already was. By day 3, he's flying above the Grayson house with the other variants, taking orders from Angstrom in a classic villain team-up. When Max Vincible starts complaining about Debbie, Movincahawk mocks everyone, but No Maskable quietly says,
"I miss William."
That's peak sad boy vibes. Angstrom then meets up with the surviving variants and praises them for ruining the main Invincible's reputation and asks them to gang up on him. But the variants turned against Angstrom, and he didn't fulfill his end of the deal. So he sends them all to a universe where Earth is a lifeless wasteland. At the 12th spot, we have Prison-Invincible. This guy has trauma written all over him. Burns, torture, the whole villain starter pack. The little backstory we know is that he spent a year in a Viltrumite prison and was freed with Angstrom's help. On day 1 of the war, he arrives through Angstrom's portal and immediately starts destroying everything. On day 2, Prison-Invincible proceeds to attack Russia, crashing through and destroying buildings and trying to kill as many politicians as possible. He then caught sight of the Russian superhero, Cast Iron, and became eager to fight him as a warm-up after being locked up for so long. By day 3, Prison-Invincible meets Angstrom with the other variants and is sent to the Wasteland universe. Hair-Vincible is another variant, and all we know about him is that he joined Omni-Man to help conquer Earth. He also decided a wolf cut would make him look cooler. During the Invincible War, Hair-Vincible follows the other variants into battle. He's definitely stronger than most of the weaker variants on this list. He tackles a demigod into a building, crushes an unnamed hero with a car, and takes on Britt, Donald, Bug-Eye, Throwbolt, and Oliver all by himself. While doing all this, he destroys a big part of the city, cuts Donald in half, and almost defeats Bug-Eye. But even with all that, the combined effort of the heroes is too much, and Hair-Vincible gets defeated and eventually turned into a reanimate. Going into the top 10, we got Stripe-Vincible. He wears a similar costume to the main Invincible variant aside from the black highlights and the Viltrum Empire's logo on each side of his shoulders. Judging by his comments about him being bloodthirsty for the conquering of other dimensions, it's very likely that he is the Emperor, or at least a leading member of the Viltrumite Empire in his dimension. This may also explain why he is so violent and aggressive. Stripe Vincible crashes in through the portal and heads straight to London. First stop, Buckingham Palace, which he destroys completely. Then he fights a hero called British Knight and delivers the epic line, "Pathetic."
I wouldn't even keep you as a slave in my empire!
On day 2, he fights Big Mildew and Business Baby, who both die at his hands. Stripe Vincible dodges their attacks and knocks both of them out with a single punch. By the third day, Angstrom tells the surviving variants to attack the Invincible of the main universe. Stripe Vincible angrily objects, yelling about how Angstrom promised he would help them conquer other dimensions if they follow him. All the variants turn on Angstrom, which gives him no choice but to open portals to the Wasteland universe and push them in using his drones. No Gogglesable is the Invincible variant who said goggles are overrated and decided to go full villain without them. In his own universe, he straight up murdered the Guardians of the Globe. And here's the crazy part. Nolan was helping him. Yeah, dad and son bonding, but like family time gone terrible. During the Invincible War, No Gogglesable arrives like a storm, smashing everything he sees. Day 1, he's punching people, breaking buildings, and generally being a nightmare. He even tackles the Immortal into the sky, forcing Kahor to crawl back into his grave like a scared little cat. Later, No Gogglesable crashes into the Guardians HQ, defeats Black Samson and Shapesmith, and fights the Immortal, Duplicate, and Darkwing too. He beheads the Immortal and wipes out Duplicate's clones. Then he just stands there flexing on the bodies like he's in some villain photoshoot, wishing he can enjoy it more. This arrogant posturing allows Darkwing 2 the opportunity to ambush him, tackling him head-on and dragging No Gogglesable into the Shadowverse for all time. As neither Darkwing 2 nor No Gogglesable appear again, we can assume that both are killed in the Shadowverse. Hoodvincible's origin is unknown. He joins Angstrom's evil Invincible squad. During the war, he is seen fighting a group of superheroes. Two-Punch Man and the other heroes join the Invincible War to fight any evil variants of Invincible. They battle against Hoodvincible, but they are all defeated and knocked out. Hoodvincible continues to overwhelm the heroes until the arrival of the main Invincible and Adam Eve. He eventually incapacitates the other superheroes, leaving only Adam Eve and main Invincible. Then Omni-Invincible arrives. Hoodvincible thinks he's edgy and tells him to back off. Eventually they team up, which leads to chaos. Adam Eve nearly gets destroyed, and Invincible struggles to keep up. Thankfully, GDA's Reanimant arrive to save Eve. Hoodvincible shows solid strength and clever fighting skills, but once the Reanimants show up, Omni-Invincible flies off, leading Hoodvincible to face them alone, which arguably results in his death. Next up, we have Movincahawk. Because regular evil Invincible wasn't edgy enough, this guy rocks a mohawk and killed his own mom. Yeah, forget family therapy. Instead, he joins Angstrom Levy for destruction, after being promised rule over multiple realities. Day 1, Movincahawk smashes through Peyton Prison and kills any staff and inmates in his way. Then the mainstream Invincible comes in, who first mistakes him for a friend. Movincahawk realizes it's the main Mark, and they fight. Movincahawk gains the upper hand briefly until Mark punches both of his ears, knocking him out for a bit. Then some heroes mistakenly attack Mark, giving Movincahawk a chance to recover. Powerplex tries to stop him, but Movincahawk punches him away. He then fights the other heroes, but gets knocked out by the team-up of Invincible and all the others. Whilst Invincible flies off to investigate other areas, he regains consciousness and flies away. Later, he destroys the Empire State Building and attacks the Grayson House, pretending to be hurt, calling out for Debbie. Lucky for her, she isn't home. By day 3, he's one of the variants who gets sent to the Wasteland universe. Another one of Mark's variants is Mustachable. Not much is known about his past, but he has a huge mustache. Somewhere in the multiverse, he looks at his dad and decides Viltrum Empire loyalty is the way to go. He joins Angstrom Levy's evil Invincible squad, ready to destroy the mainstream world. His big fight happens in space against Tech Jacket. 2 full days of brutal off-screen fighting, probably full of wild punches and one-sided hits. But Mustachable loses badly, and his final cameo is his body drifting through space, while Tech Jacket casually flies home like it's just another Saturday for him. Now, even though his performance isn't as impressive as some of the other Invincible variants, you have to understand that Tech Jacket is one of the most OP characters in Invincible, and losing to him after 2 days of fighting is no shame. Viltrumincible is another Viltrumite loyal evil Invincible, similar to Mustachable. This guy goes full destroyer mode. His first stop in the war is New York City. He bumps into a Wolfman and claims that he killed him once already and will do so again. The fight is so intense it levels buildings. Then Chicago gets the same treatment. For 3 straight days, Viltrumincible is non-stop destruction. No slowing down, no mercy, just full destruction. By the end of the war, like many other heavy hitters, he's sent to the Wasteland universe. Omni-Invincible's backstory is basically blank, but he's definitely evil and really hates Adam Eve for some reason. During the war, he finds Hoodvincible fighting Invincible and Adam Eve, and flies in wondering if he needs any help. Hoodvincible tells him off, but Omni-Invincible's response is legendary.
Swearing doesn't make you cool.
The two eventually team up, leaving Adam Eve badly hurt. The Global Defense Agency's Reanimant then intervenes, allowing Adam Eve to be rescued. Omni-Invincible survives the Reanimant attack and leaves Hoodvincible behind. By day 3, Omni-Invincible shows off his destruction in Tokyo. By the end of the war, he's trapped in the Wasteland universe along with the other variants. Gogglesable is the evil Invincible who decided he needs a fashion upgrade, so he rocks the goggles. We don't know much about his backstory, but man, he comes in hard on day 1 of the Invincible War. His first target is the Teen Team's base, and boy, does he cause some problems. He injures Monster Girl, Rex, demolishes Robot's drones, finds the real robot, and makes Bulletproof completely useless. Total chaos. But Rex, being the ultimate self-sacrifice hero, decides enough is enough. He goes all in, throws explosives, and smashes Gogglesable's left lens. Gogglesable looks ready to give a full villain speech about hunting everyone down. But then my glorious King Rex does something both horrifying and insane. He detonates his entire skeleton, taking Gogglesable out with him. Absolute legend move. Maskvincible is basically the mainstream Invincible, but with an extra dose of trauma. Same childhood, same dad playing catch with him, but fast forward a few years, and once he developed his power, Omni-Man killed Debbie. Maskvincible returned the favor and killed Omni-Man as a teenager. Before the Invincible War, Angstrom Levy convinces Maskvincible to join his squad with the promise that as long as he followed his instructions, he'll get to meet his mom again. He enters the mainstream universe with the villain squad and immediately starts wrecking everything. By day 3, Maskvincible and the other variants fly over the Grayson house. Omni-Invincible starts complaining about the past, but Maskvincible then drops some seriously emotional backstory and tells the variants that not all of them killed Debbie, and that some of them actually miss her. Movincahawk mocks him about mommy issues, and Maskvincible snaps, calling everyone out, telling them that they're all the same person. Then, like all the others, he's sent to the Wasteland universe. And finally, at number 1, Capevincible. This is Evil Mark 2.0, but 100% more psycho. Raised by Nolan, possibly without love from Debbie, apparently to make him Viltrum loyal. But plot twist, he does his own thing and murders his own dad. And then after conquering Earth, he kills Angstrom's son. During the Invincible War, Capevincible joins Angstrom's squad ready to wreck the mainstream universe. His first stop is Hong Kong. He chases Best Tiger across rooftops, evading bullets like some kind of cheat code, only to get hit mid-taunt. Day 2, he goes after the hero El Chupacabra, casually reminding him he killed his own dad before attacking and unaliving him. By day 3, he has destroyed Hollywood. When Angstrom calls for the big meetup and gives them new instructions, Capevincible quickly refuses, pointing out that Angstrom's plan had killed most of the variants, and then like the others, he's also sent to the Wasteland universe. Out of the 8 variants, only 2 survive, one of them being Capevincible, who manages to stay alive by eating all the other variants. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next upload. That said, see you in the next one.